has recently been identified as being crucial to the Australian government's strategic critical minerals reserve, and one company may be set to benefit from that. Here to tell me more is the Managing Director of Larvotto Resources, Ron Heeks. Ron, it's a pleasure to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, great, Shay, and it's great to be back to keep informing the crew on what's happening with Larvotto.
Look, it's super exciting times for you because I've followed the Larvotto story for quite some time. And I remember a time when your share price couldn't catch a bid, and now you're the company at the top of everybody's mind. And with this announcement coming through from the Australian government, it tells me that you are front of mind for the Australian government as well. What does this mean? What does this strategic reserve mean for Larvotto?
It's been a pretty exceptional run, I must admit, Shay, and this was a little bit unexpected. We had some communications with the government that they were setting up a reserve for critical minerals. We didn't know where we would sit in that, and we ended up at sort of the top of the list, really, and as the only significant producer in Australia, we're sort of leading edge on that. So it's great to see that the Australian government, along with AUKUS, has recognised that antimony does form a very critical part of the critical minerals, arguably right at the top of the list, fundamental for producing good solar panels as much as electronics and military uses. So wonderful to see that they're helping that. We haven't seen the details behind this yet, but it's good to know, as you say, that we are front and centre, thinking from the Prime Minister down. We're currently permitting the project, so we'd like to think that that will help as well, and the people in the New South Wales government are certainly on the page with what's going on and working very closely with them, and that's a great partnership. So we look forward to closing this all out so that we can actually start putting into the Australian stockpile.
Well, speaking of adding to the overall tailwinds happening here, you've just recently completed some drilling over at the METs part of your project. What's happening here?
Yeah, well, drilling's been ongoing for well over 12 months now with 4 rigs, so these are parts of the continual results coming out. We've put out 2 announcements recently, some really excellent results, ongoing sorts of numbers from METs, which is just great, and also our ongoing numbers from Freehold, which is an area that doesn't really sit within our mine plan at the moment. It's an historic area, but it just seems to be getting better and better and better, and we look forward to doing a more detailed reserve on that and moving that in the mine plan going forward. So these results will keep flowing through. There's batches lined up ready to keep moving that on, continuing the really excellent results that are in line or above our current expectations. And of course now we're starting to report some really good tungsten hits as well, which is something that we haven't focused on before, but with metallurgical test work coming on that, tungsten moving into a focus, and I think that's sitting at near 100,000 Aussie a tonne now. So that's another great metal that we can put into the scheme, and will just help our all-in sustaining cost on the gold side.
Now, I know you are one of the market darlings of 2025, and investors have definitely pushed Larvotto's market cap higher this week alone. What's in store for 2026? Obviously, Prime Minister Albanese knows who you are. How do you top this?
Yeah, well, it doesn't get any bigger than that, does it? Look forward to it. Continuing on with our upgrade of the plant, the underground mine team doing their stuff at the moment. They're doing a bit of rehab. Mining will start very, very shortly. We're on track and on budget at the moment to meet our mid-year restart of the project and start producing our first ore. So the build team are on site. The underground team are working. That's PYBAR, who are doing an excellent job. The team on site are building up very, very well, and that's on track. All our senior management are in place now. The vast majority are based in Armidale, which has gone so much better than we could have ever imagined. So that's been a huge win. We're getting a lot of interest from around the place. We're working very closely with the local communities as well. In fact, we've got our first cows on from one of the local schools who's grazing their cows as part of their education program. So we look forward to integrating that. So there's a million things going on, from underground mining to managing cows.
I did not expect that to be the conclusion of today's conversation, Ron. Listen, thank you so much for your update today. Name a cow for me, and I can't wait for the next update.
We'll do. We'll give one a name and send you a photo, Shay.
I'm going to hold you to that.